Hello, my friends. Happy Tuesday. It is 2:03. I'm a couple minutes late. Sorry about that. Let me make sure I'm in the right place. Looks like it. Let's pull this up. It's funny because I was a hot mess until about 20 minutes ago when I took a shower. And I am always like, do I shower or not? Because now I look like I have like a straggly hair. So I'm not sure if it looks better with dirty hair or clean, wet, thin, scraggly hair. So whatever. You're not here to see my hair or any of that, right? You're here to see some stamping. So you love me anyway, right? So welcome. Happy Tuesday. I didn't really know what to share with you today, but I landed on sharing the stamp positioner tool and actually a sneak peek of some online exclusives. So March 3rd, I believe, is the date. We're going to have a new launch of products, and there's one bundle. I think it's the only bundle I've bought so far from the new online exclusives because I just needed it, and you'll see why in a second. I think many of you will need this one. It's super cute, and it's going to work great with this stamp positioning tool. So let me just flip this around so we can kind of go through this, and then I'll share the product, and then we're going to actually use the tool to do a really fun technique. So let's go ahead and turn this around. And some of you may have a stamp positioning tool already. There's a couple of different brands. Well, we had one a while back called the Stamparatus, and then we had, there's other companies that make them as well, but this is the new one from Stampin' Up. It's called Stampin' Positioner, and it's got the two different plates to use. And I'm going to show you a fun little tiling technique that you can do with this. Of course, the basic purpose or premise of a stamp positioning tool is for you to be able to get perfect placement every time. And those of you that struggle to get like your image lined up perfectly, that's this is what this is really good for, because if you miss the first time, right, you can just re-stamp it without having any issues lining it up again. And maybe I'll get a chance to share that with you in a second. So you've got your two plates, you've got your little magnets here. These are nice because the old ones, when they used to go together, they'd slam together. You had to really keep them apart. And these have these little tabs to help you pick them up, which is nice, but they're still really, really magnetized. So they're not going to let your paper move, which is really cool. And they're really easy to pull apart too, which is good. And then you've got this guy here who kind of lines up on your little knobs. And then it's on like springs almost. And so that's how you actually stamp. So when it's just like this, it's actually, the ink is not touching the paper. It's not until you press it down when it would touch the paper. And then you've got the, this one here, which is what we're going to use today. It's going to allow you to do some tiling down your cardstock. And I'll show you that in a second. So let's go ahead and we're going to grab a piece of paper. Oh, let me show you the sneak peek of the product. So you guys, look how stinking cute this bundle is. Where are my pet lovers? We've got kitties, we've got doggies, we've got birds. The font is so stinking cute. I love it. Have the best day. So glad we're friends. Happy birthday. Just a little hello. You've got paw prints and little bird prints. And then you've got butterflies and flowers. And then on the dies, you can cut out the three images. And then you've got some individual little dies too, so you can cut out like maybe just this little guy, or maybe just this little guy, or you know, let's see, this little kitty, this little dog, right? So you've got some options to be able to cut out some of the individual, and actually I don't even think they cut out, now that I look at it, it's actually details. So they're just mimicking the stamp, but they're just solid cutouts. So oh my gosh, this is going to be so much fun to play with. I'm super excited. So this one is a sneak peek. It's coming March 3rd. And then the reason why I'm showing this to you as well, so this is going to be a product in the Stampin' Up! Product line coming in later this year. We don't have a date, but for those people who buy the starter kit in February, so we've got a couple more weeks, you can get this guy for free. It's a $49 value, so you would still get your starter kit, which is $99 plus tax, free shipping, and then you pick $125 worth of product of your choice, and then in addition to that $125, you get this guy for free. So if you don't already have one and you've been wanting one, this is a great way to do that. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to see, there is, you can kind of put this anywhere you want because you've got your magnets to kind of keep it stationary so it won't move. But there is like a little cutout right here where it has, oh, actually I lied. I'm not going to do that. There is a, like if you wanted to just do like a nice clean cut, like center sentiment, this is a great place to line it up because you'll know exactly where it goes without question. But I forgot, I'm doing tiling. So I'm gonna wanna start it over here. And I'm going to, where's my stamp here? I'm going to do the kitties because my mother-in-law asked me for some kitty thank you cards a while ago. And that's when I ordered the stamp. So I keep wanting to line this up in the wrong place. There's little holes here and I keep wanting to line those up, but it's the little holes here. So we can, what did I just do? Oh, it's right here. We can actually line this up. So I'm going to put the little magnets here first, kind of keep it in place. And then I'm going to line up the cats kind of centered on here, right? Like that. And then I'm going to put these in there. And I'm going to push down to pick up my stamp. So now my stamp is on the back of this, so you can see. And because this stamp is new, it did stick to the paper a little bit, but once you start stamping with it, that will kind of come off a little bit. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp this up in fresh freesia because I have a plan, I think. I don't know. I have a thought. Let's say that. I don't know. We might just end up showing you this process. I may not end up being able to use this as a card. Well, of course I will. I'll figure it out. But I have a hunch. All right, so now I'm going to line this back up on those little hooks, right? It's just sitting above my paper right now. I'm going to push down and then pull up, and now it's not sticking to the paper anymore, and I've got a cute little kitty, right? So I kind of missed this a little bit, so I could, if I wanted to, which one is that? It's over here. Just sort of re-ink that, line this up, and we know it's exactly where it needs to be because everything's kind of positioned. And then we just re-ink, and now it's a full image. So it just kind of re-stamped over it, right? So now we're going to go ahead and move this down. And I'm going to move these little plugs down, right? So it's just down a little bit. And I'll ink it up again because I need to re-ink. This is also really great if you do a lot of mass producing. So like if you do holiday cards or anything like that at Christmas time or even like Easter or whatever, right? You can mass produce because you just leave the stamp on the thing and just keep switching out the paper, right? So say if you had a center sentiment and you had to stamp it like 40 times, you just leave this all set up, switch the papers out, especially in this little area here so that you know exactly where it goes. You would be good to go so that you could just keep stamping, right? So this one's a little darker because I stamped twice, but you get the idea, right? So now I'm going to go ahead and move it down one more time. And you can keep moving those magnets. Just make sure you don't move your paper at all. I think I can squeeze in another one here without having to move the magnets yet. So again, just lining it up and going all the way down and stamping that. Whoop, I missed. So there we go. Let's do it again. This is why this is such a cool tool, especially if you're not the best at stamping, right? I get a lot of people that are like, I don't like stamping because I'm not very good at it. Well, this is the great little training wheels for stamping because you can reposition it and do it again. All right? All right, so I'm going to kind of move these a little bit, keeping my paper in the same spot. That's key. And then we'll re-ink again. The only problem is I kind of wanted this to be sort of background-ish, but that's all right. We'll make it work. So I wanted it to be kind of a lighter color. So you could stamp off too, like just put a scrap piece of paper in there when you stamp the first time. All right, so there's that. Push down and up. Why am I missing? I think it's because it's right on the edge of that plate that I keep missing the ink. But it's all good because I can fix it. Like I could even go back and fix that one if I wanted it to be darker, right? Because we know exactly where it is. Push that down and up. There we go. And then we got one more here on the bottom so we can have like a little background of some little kitties. Now you could do this in black and then color them all in, but I was trying to think of a way to use this that wouldn't be so much coloring. but it really wasn't about the project. It was more about showing you how to use this guy. Yeah, I don't know what. I'm just not putting enough pressure on the top here, I think. I think he's too close to the top, so maybe take that note from me. See how close he is up here? I think that might be the problem. Or I'm just not pushing enough up top there. It's probably better if he's in the center. There we go. There. So now I have my sheet of little kitties. See? Cute, right? So now I was thinking maybe we could, I had this paper. This is what made me do the fresh freesia, because I had this paper. So I was thinking maybe we could incorporate this somehow, but I don't know. Part of me was thinking the other thing we could do is maybe stamp it on regular paper and like color it in and make a little highlight too. Let's put this on a piece of fresh freesia. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. So I need a bigger piece. I just want a really, really thin border. So I'm going to do like an 1/8 inch border for this. And we'll probably do like a white card base maybe. I don't know. Let's see. So 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to do this dog fur on everything today. I just vacuumed too. All right. 4 1/8 by 5 and 1 2 3/8. That'll give us a 1/8 inch border. So we can put that on here. Okay. And then I feel like I want to, and actually I might put it on a card base that is actually fresh freesia as well. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm going to switch that color from fresh freesia to basic black. Let's see. So this is a fresh freesia card base. Let's just use this. So this is the Thursday Throwdown, or Tuesday Throwdown part of this, because I didn't have a plan for the card. I just wanted to show you the sneak peek and the little tool. All right, so now let's grab a piece of basic black. I have this card base, but I'm just going to use this. I'm going to do this one, the 4 1/8. Oops, that's my scoring blade. Not going to work very well. And, oh, I think Amazon is here. My dog is barking. Sorry if you guys can hear that. She's downstairs, so hopefully you can't. She's my good little protector. But she does not like Amazon, even though I tell her. He brings us stuff. It's good. That's what you want your dog to do, right? Alert you. She's actually really good. A lot of dogs are very barky, like anybody that walks by, and Shelby doesn't do that. She only barks if people come into our yard. Like, she does not want them in our space, which is perfect. That's what you want your dog to do. So hopefully it's just Amazon. Otherwise, could have a surprise for Facebook Live today. All right, so we've got this. So it's just a thin little black border there. I do want to kind of work in this paper a little bit, so I'm thinking maybe I'll cover a little bit. I know it kind of wastes that little work that we did, but I am going to stamp it on a scrap piece, though, in some black ink. Let's grab our little kitties here, and this doesn't matter. I should have grid paper under here because I'm going to stamp my table, but it's fine. It's a really light ink. I'm going to grab some black. And we'll stamp this. So the cool thing about, if you grab the starter kit, you obviously would get this Stampin' Positioning tool free this month for the next couple of weeks. But you could also order this bundle in your starter kit because it's a pre-order item. So that's how I got it. As a demonstrator, we get to order the online exclusives, the new catalog stuff, about a month ahead of time typically. And so this is actually an early release. I've had it for a couple of weeks. I just haven't shared it yet because, you know, I was busy with other things, but I thought today would be a good day to do that. I'm going to use a little bit of peach pie, which is the other color in this paper, to kind of color in my little kitties. They'll be little calico kitties. And I'm going to use my blends. I love my blends. So this might take me a second. So feel free to Ask me anything. You got any questions for me? I did see after I'd already planned what I was going to do that you guys, that Deb had requested some vellum cardstock tips and tricks, and that's a great suggestion. So I may do that in the future. But if you guys have any other things you'd like help with, or questions about the starter kit, or questions about stamping, questions about my life, whatever, you can go ahead and ask those while I color a little bit, because that takes a minute. This is why I didn't want to do the whole card. Like, I didn't want to color in all of those. So I was trying to figure out a way to make a design that I could use tiling with. So we're just going to color in these. And I might go back with my dark and just kind of do a little bit of shading too. We'll see. Hopefully you guys are all hearing me okay. I don't see any comments yet, and it could just be that my computer's being weird, but give me a shout if you're watching. I always like to know everything's working properly. And I could have colored these guys different colors, but we're going to do a row of calicos just because it matches our paper, and can't really color purple kitties. I mean, you could, but you can do anything you want, right? Our stepdaughter got us some cute little like container box with our favorite chocolates for Valentine's Day. And Nate got dark chocolate Rolos. Hey, Deb. He got dark chocolate Rolos, which is one of his favorites. And he made me, he's like, I want, and this is probably not a great terminology, but we call it Rolo crack. And it's actually something that my friend Suling introduced us to. But it's a Rolo on a Ritz cracker. And then you bake it for like 2 minutes on like 350. Just so that the Rolo gets a little melty, and then you stick another Ritz on top. So it's kind of like a Ritz sandwich cracker, like a peanut butter cracker, but with Rolos in the middle. And it is delicious, and they are very, very addictive. And so I made those the other day, and we have been eating Rolo Ritz crackers like they're going out of style for the last 2 days. So today, I have my stretchy pants on. That's actually funny too. If you guys didn't hear it this year, Thanksgiving, I don't know when it actually came out, but we heard it for the first time around Thanksgiving. But it was a song by Carrie Underwood called Stretchy Pants, and it's kind of like a spoof on Thanksgiving or holidays probably. But that's a really funny song too, if you haven't heard it. All right, so I just added a little bit of darkness in there. I'm going to actually use Fresh Freesia for the butterflies. We'll just do one color butterflies. Hi, Judith. Utah is probably beautiful right now. It's actually been pretty warm here. Warm, I say, relative term. It's in the mid-30s. It was actually snowing, though, this morning when I went for a walk, but it was like really light flurries. But 30s is kind of warm these days. It's been very, very chilly lately. All right, I'm not really sure how I feel about these bright orange kitties, but we're going to go with it. We're going to make this work somehow. So I'm going to take my little, let's see which ones are which. I think it must be this one. Let's see if I'm right. Yes, I am. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to cut out this row. Or do I want to leave it squared off? Let's cut the, let's save that there for a second. Let's cut a piece of this. This was kind of my inspiration, but didn't really leave a whole lot of room for it. So let's do 4 1/4, which is our card width. And we'll do by like maybe 2. I don't want to take up too much of the card. Maybe 1 3/4. Just a little bit of that flower. And then let's see what we're gonna do here. I'm not gonna attach this yet because I think I might want to do some ribbon or something too. So we got that. And then I'm thinking, oh, I probably should have done 2 so it covered a whole thing. Because now it's like, you've got some of that showing. Hold on, let's do a little bit more. I just want to make sure I can cover 2 whole rows so it doesn't look weird. There we go. Now, do we do the little kitties on top? I don't know about this card. This is not, I feel like I wish I did that like in crumb cake or something, because I feel like it's too much. And I may actually, now that I showed you how to use that, I might not use that for this card. But you know how to do it now, see? And I think what I might do is this piece. And we could do it on, maybe that's what I should have done. I should have done it on tone. That's kind of more the look I was going for. But I still want some of this to show. So maybe I cut this down. We're really thinking on the fly here. Let's make this smaller. So I'm going to do 3.5 by 5. Okay. And then I'm going to do this 4 by 5.25. Okay, my brain is thinking on full strength now. Okay, so we're going to do this, and now we'll have this here. Okay, and then we're going to do a panel of those little kitties on top, so you can kind of see. Actually, I'm going to do a little bit more off here. So we did 5, let's do 4 3/4. Like that. Yeah. Okay, let's do our little trick again. So I'm going to show you how to do it again. See? Look at bonus. All right, so I'm going to take this guy again. We're going to line this up here. I'm going to take my stamp and we're going to position him where I want him. He's going to go kind of off a little bit, so I'm actually going to grab some of the grid paper because I don't want, oh, that's too sad. That's sad, Judith. It's been a good winter for the Northeast, that's for sure, for snow season. Nate was just talking about when he was going to be able to go up again. So this is an add-on product that you can add to your starter kit, or it's like available now in our online store, although the Stampin' positioning tool is not. But I'm going to put this under here just because I'm going to stamp slightly off the paper, so I don't want to get it on my actual stamp positioning tool. So I'm going to put this down. Okay. All right, and then we're going to line this up again on an edge. And now I can use that grid paper to kind of line up that top edge there. We're going to position our magnets. We're going to place our stamp where we want it. And actually, that might be a little too close because let's put it here. That way the edge of this isn't going to be in the way of those little notches. I'm going to move it down just a little bit. Like that, and then we need this guy. We'll get him lined up, pick it up, and then we're going to do tone on tone here. It actually stamped a little bit in the black because I forgot that I hadn't cleaned it, but it's fine. Hey, Anne. So let's go ahead and stamp that. So we're just lining it up in those 2 little dots, right? Push down, pick up. We got cute little kitties, right? Okay, I'm going to do that again. Make sure I get it fully inked here. Move this out of the way a little bit. Go down to the next row. Push down. Go up. Little kitties. Okay. And we'll do it again. Try this again. Like that. Such a cool technique with this. Yes, I love this. You're getting perfect stamping every time. Even me, who, you know, I stamp a lot, so I'm usually pretty good with getting things lined up, but this is definitely very helpful. And I want to kind of fill that space. So let me see if we can squeak in another one there. Because I like to, what they call break the field. So like if you leave everything right on the cardstock, it just doesn't look as finished. To me, it doesn't look like printed paper. It just looks like I missed, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and stamp one more there so we just see the top of it. And I may actually just slide this down a little bit and do the top of that too. And for that one, I may need to actually position the stamp again. All right, so I'm just gonna, I want it right about there. So I'm gonna pick it up, and it's gonna stamp a little bit when I pick it up, but that's okay because it's gonna be the same exact spot. So I can just go back and re-ink it and do that again. Okay. There. So now I have this piece. Let's see if this looks better. Oh, I just panicked. I'm like, oh my God, I got it all over the thing. But that's what the grid paper's for. My goodness. All right. So we have our card base and our pretty little purple and peach flowers. We've got our little kitty. How fun, right? And now I feel like maybe we need a little like strip of the green, and then we can put our little kitties on top or something. Unless, well, let me die cut these. Unless we decide we just want the little kitties popped up. I got my little machine here. Let's try die cutting this first. If I can find my... Where is my... Where my plates are. Well, I guess I'm going to have to use the big one because I don't know where the little plates are. Alright, we're going to use the big guy because I can't find my little plates. Well, I can find all but one. Alright, so we're going to put this in here. Line this up on top. I'm going to flip this because it's very warped. We need some new plates. What do you think? So we'll put this here. Line that up around these cute little kitties. Carefully put this on top and roll it through. Okay. Yes. Perfect. Get that out of the way. And now we have this thing here. So we could just kind of leave this so it's centered like this, right? And then maybe pop up here. Maybe I don't need a band. Do I want a little bit of old olive under there? Maybe. Let's see if we like it with or without. Do I have any strips of old olive? I was cutting old olive this weekend for our craft along next week. If you're doing the craft along next week, kits went out. You should have them in a couple of days. And I will be sending an email shortly to give you all the details. It's going to be super fun. All right, so what do we think? I don't know if I like the green. I kind of want another color. Maybe I put green under here. And then pop that up. Maybe some twine. I just feel like it needs to be anchored somehow. So let me get, what do I have? Oh, I have some green twine we could use. Or black or brown. The green works. Let's do that. Let's grab some green twine. And we'll wrap it around this panel, perhaps. I don't know, I feel like it should be white, but I don't know where my white is. Did I have? No, I had black in there. All right, let's do this. I really would prefer white, but I don't think I have any white handy. Oh, but actually it might be in my box here. Hold on. Oh, I have crumb cake. That might be better. Hold on. Hold, please. Sorry. The white is out. Okay, but let's do, well, let's see. Do we like the crumb cake? Or the green, rather? I guess the green works. The green's in there, so we'll leave it. Let me tie this in a bow. We do need to get a sentiment on here, though. So maybe that's where we can add a little strip. Let's do that. Trim those down. I'm going to pop this up for sure, and I'll pop this panel up. And then that's going to be, whoops, centered. And then we need a little sentiment. It's cute, right? We're getting there. You like the green ribbon or the green strip? Let's do, should we do So Glad We're Friends or Have the Best Day? I feel like I want a long skinny one. How about Have the Best Day? All right, so I'm gonna do this on some white, and I have some white strips here. So we'll use the black. We'll do Have the Best Day. We'll just stamp that in the middle there. Cute. I love this font. I think it's so cute. You like the twine? Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm going to do a little banner end, I think. So I'm going to give myself a little extra on each side. Let's see how that lines up. Because I'm kind of thinking I'll put it over that, like that. But I want a little fancied up here. So we'll fancy this up. Like so. And if I can keep my hands still for a minute. I haven't even had any caffeine today. All right, and then we'll do this. And then it's assembly time and maybe some bling. I'm gonna have some bling too. So I think this will go here, that will go there, and then that will go there. All right, so let me grab my little mini dimensionals. I think will be good for this. I'm gonna tape this down. My adhesive is still downstairs. How sad is that? I've been actually doing so. Yes, there is still stuff in my living room from 2 weekends ago, but I've been doing inventory before I bring it all upstairs. And actually, we decided I'm not going to bring it upstairs because I'm just going to bring it all back down in like another week. So, but for some reason, I can't find like all my basic tools, so they've got to be buried somewhere. So I unboxed all of my kits and stuff last weekend or last night. So now I know what I have and what I need. So those are going to get all boxed back up because they're on my dining room table right now. And then we'll put those in the corner of the dining room because we don't really use our dining room. And it's right off the door. So it's handy. So I'll just leave those in there. But then I got to unpack the rest of the random boxes that are downstairs. I probably put that too close to the edge. But it's fine because it kind of hangs off the paper a little bit. All right, so now we're going to put this here. Let's just move this down slightly. We'll put him on top of that. So fun! Okay, it's a little crooked. I think my stamp was a little crooked, but that's okay. And then I'm going to use the edges. Actually, I can use just the mini ones. I usually use the edges on the bigger ones, but I just want them kind of top and bottom so that the twine can go in between the dimensionals kind of, so that it gets secure footing. All right, because I'm overlapping that twine, so I want to make sure the the dimensionals are making contact to the paper so it stays put. So we're going to just kind of do this. I'm going to kind of overlap the kitties a little bit. There we go. And then this is going to get put on with dimensionals. And I should be using bigger dimensionals, but again, all my basic stash is MIA. I don't know what I did with it. You know how you like, when you're cleaning up at the end, you just kind of throw things everywhere? It's kind of what happened. So I was trying to get out of there for Super Bowl Sunday. And towards the end, everything just got thrown wherever. So we'll just use extra minis. All right. Yeah, this is a really fun stamp set. I'm excited to play with this one. And I think all my pet lovers, I know there's a lot of you out there, will love this one. So like I said, this is a sneak peek of a stamp set or stamp bundle coming out in on March 3rd. It's part of the online exclusives. All right, so we'll put this here. So fun. Cute, cute, cute. You could add some Linka Stella maybe to the kitties. Do I have any Linka Stella? I don't think so. I think it's in my school class box. In my class box. Actually, it's right here. Look at that. We gotta add some Linka Stella to this guy. To all these little guys. And our little butterflies. Just make these pop. Oh, and then we need some bling. Hello. Gotta have some bling too. Okay, I was not sure where this card was gonna go when we first started. I was not happy with the white here. It was just too much. I was like, oh, this is not working the way I want it. But the end result came out cute. I like it. I was a little worried. Sometimes I worry when I do these Tuesday throwdowns because you know how like when you're creating and sometimes it's just not working? It's really bad when that happens and you're on camera, my friends. Trust me. It's not fun. All right, so let's see. What do I have for some bling? We could use that because that's kind of purpley. Those are the faceted dots. That might be a good option. I kind of want a little purpley twist. Those are purple, but I don't want that. All right, I think we're going to go with these little faceted gems. And take that out. Whoops, come on. We'll grab my little take your pick tool. And we'll use a couple of these. Let's put one here. Little one. And then maybe another bigger one up here. Like that. Cute! You guys, that's fun. I like it. I was worried, but we did it. Good collaboration, my friends. All right. If you have any questions about the online exclusives, the stamp positioner tool, the starter kit, just scrapping in general, crafting in general, feel free to shout out. I will check in on the comments throughout the day. And then, of course, if you're on my email list, you'll get an email later today with some of this info and the link to the replay. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.